Okay, sorry guys. I think my internet kind of froze. So, in some ways, not being in that trade was a good thing. But I think Tommy asked about so, and it's kind of just sideways. So, to me, it doesn't have that, again, it doesn't have that parabolic move. It hasn't really shown a lot of conviction to me. But it could be good for a little scalp. Let's see. Okay. Just looking at the trade ideas. Um, the last thing I've gotten since is CNC. And it did pretty good there. See that? I just couldn't get in on time. And of course, the last thing I want is to be in a trade, my internet to go out, and me having to reconnect. So just to repeat myself from just the live chat that got disconnected, I did a couple of trades earlier today, this morning, when I was waking up, getting my coffee ready, and they turned out pretty good. But as usual, at this time, at 1:30, people are getting back from trading. And I'm looking at the Discord app now, under the chat room newbie trading. This is where I post most of my entries and exits. So here's one of them that I did today, that I'm in NVAX at 7:05 and I'm out at NVAX 7:37. Generally, I can get that in, pretty quickly within 5 seconds. Um, but on the YouTube live stream, it's going to be delayed. And I'm only telling you this not because I want you to enter and exit with me, but because if you're wanting to parallel trade with me, paper trade wise, or just to experiment and see if it works for you, then timing is kind of important. Now, but most importantly, you should know why I'm choosing these stocks. Out of all of the and out of all of the stocks that my trade ideas gives me, I need to decide which one will work best for my my method. Um, it is without trade ideas, I will be just trying to grab anything and searching over and over again, which can be fun, but it also creates over trading, and you could start drifting from your own parameters, what you're looking for. Just trying to just find something to trade, and that causes over trading, that mentality. So having my trade ideas here, I have a counter trend one, counter trend two. So one's very narrow, and the other one is a little bit broader. And sometimes in the broader spectrum of stocks, you'll find something that actually works really well. Um, hey Azar, actually, where are you from? Well, I was born in Tyler, Texas, but I'm Chinese. My parents are from Taiwan. So Tyler, Texas means I'm in Central Time. So the stock market is right now at 1:35 p.m. For me, it's 12:35. So waking up an hour earlier kind of sucks. Okay, so I'll I just if you haven't seen it already, I created a poll under the community tab asking y'all if you rather just have a breakdown rather these sometimes these streams can get really lengthy and then I just talk about whatever because I'm just waiting for something, or if you would want just yeah, if you just want that breakdown, or you want the stream and breakdown, which seems to be the winner. Y'all want to make me work a little bit more, or it doesn't really matter. The stream is working fine, and so yeah, I'm gonna try my best to stream, and when I have time, I'll do a breakdown of my stream, so I could just take that 45 minutes and squeeze it into 5 minutes and do some rendering and talking over what I was talking about just to make sure you guys understand why I chose the stock. But I try my best during the stream to tell you exactly what's on my mind so that way you can yeah, you can basically understand why I do what I do. And if it doesn't work, then I need to look back and see why it didn't work. A lot of times, like just like in anything, um, stocks related, it not working does not mean your method doesn't work. It not working just happens to be human behavior. Sometimes things just don't work out the way you want it to. That's that's life, and that's stocks. Uh, Polo, sorry, Piloto. What's going on, Piloto? Hope I'm saying that right. Can you send the link to the Discord group? Sure thing. Um, if you open up another link to one of my videos, it should be in the description. So it's called Newbie Trading. Let me find it here for you. Here's the site for Jeremy Newbie's Trading. And if you go in there, you're going to see the homepage where you can click right here, the free chat room. And when you click that, it may send you to the Discord app download, which you just download. You can download it on your phone. That's what I do. But right now, I actually have it on my monitors, and you know that's the benefit of having real estate, extra monitors, because right now I have 6 programs running at the same time, just so I can record the screen. I have two, and to stream it, the trade ideas, the Thinkorswim, and my Lightspeed, and some other stuff. But you can put it on your phone, and that way you can save yourself some screen real estate on your monitor. That and also, again, the benefit of doing that is Jeremy Newbie is a really good trader. So I'm not the only one that's counter trending. He's also a really good trader. There's Bear, there's Double Dip there, and there's John BD. There's a lot of good traders on here that's giving really good suggestions. And personally, guys, I'm not the chat kind of person. I used to do chats in the very beginning to try to figure out my niche, you know, because once you get into a chat room full of like over 200 people and everyone's throwing in their thoughts, you get lost. And there's that famous quote that Bruce Lee says that directly relates to this. Um, I don't fear the man that knows 1,000 kicks. I fear the man that knows one kick and practiced 1,000 times. So that's the same thing in this in stock trading for me. That is, I know how to trade in different manners. I tried different venues or situations. For me, um, it's easiest to teach counter trending, and that's why I show counter trend. If it's a morning gap trade, I probably won't share that with y'all. because I have family and friends watching, and I want them to succeed. And when it comes to those really fast moving ones, you're not initiated. They're not initiated enough to, not you guys, but they are not, as beginners, to take that kind of pressure. You know, once you get really into this and into stock trading, the psychology is actually knowing yourself and knowing how to take that pressure, and a lot of it is confidence and experience, knowing that your method works. Yeah. Azar is it's at midnight. Wow. Azar says you're doing great. Great job. Really like it. Thanks, man. That means a lot to me. I mean, I'm just trying to do my best here. Um, um, I've done this before with the chat room, and those of y'all who are the OGs that were with me knew how stressful it was, because it was just stressful, guys. So that's why I'm on this Discord app with Jeremy Newby. He's the admin for this chat room, and at the moment, and I think it's a great idea. He's focused on just pointing out his trades, and he tells you everything. He tells you how many shares he's using, and he goes big, and and he doesn't want to talk, because if you ever tried it, being distracted while a trade is not a good thing. And for instance, a CNC right here, I was distracted and I didn't get in on time, but that's fine, because I don't want a trade. I don't want to be in a trade that you can't blink your eyes because it went too fast. I'm not trying to teach my friends how to scalp. I'm hoping to find something that actually works, and if it works, scalping that little area that works is fine, as long as you're green. Uh, Piloto, thanks, appreciate it, really grateful. You're very welcome, man. Hey, what's going on, Crazy? Crazy Kelsey. Kelsey, that's my middle name. But look at CNC here. Not the greatest shape, but just the fact that it popped up like that, and that's what catches my eyes. So if Tommy, you're looking at this is kind of something I'm looking for. I'm looking for some irrational movement, and then I need to figure out how to execute it. So up here in the pink and purple tickers is the pullbacks, and ACMRs on the top. ACMR. Pullbacks mean that it hits a high and it consolidates and it trickles down, and then it starts doing another breakout. So right now it needs to break over this area here, which is like a 49.89, 49.95. So for something like this, you're looking for a breakout over 50. This is also a very good method. But a lot of times, it breaks out and it comes back, and then so, and it takes some time. It moves that this one moves slowly, and then it goes really fast. So here's it on the daily. Wow, that's amazing. Wow. This one looks a little overextended. Here's a weekly chart. So some really good news on this one. So
SPR.
Here's another irrational movement right here. If you guys heard it, some kind of rumor made it pop up. first thing we do is look at the daily here. And here's, this one gets a little scary because if you're planning on shorting this one's recovering from a couple of bad days here. So it really wants to go up. And you could kind of draw a line here, or it touches here a while back, last week, to here. So 5-minute chart, it's already coming back. Oh wow, this thing went fast. So obviously I'm talking too much, but the range is big. So something like this, you don't want a 10-cent stop because it's moving so fast that you want like a nice chunk of a big stop. And the larger the stop, the less money, less shares you want to be putting in this, because you don't want to lose too big if you enter too late, right? But here's the 9 AMA on the 5-minute chart, so it has a lot of room to move back. But yeah, I'm too late. I would not enter here unless it pulls back. And it is pulling back. So you see, guys, just an example of how this trade idea helps me find the stocks that I want. It's a significant move. It's an irrational move. And then you need to decide when to enter and when to get out. Sometimes, for most of the time, 99% trade ideas is right, because right here it already pulled back, so it did do a counter, but you could make this easily into a loser if you enter too late and you exited too early, you know, or exited late. So here it goes. So it would have faked a lot of people out if you weren't fast enough. But so if I entered here and I stayed in it, it would have went up. I probably would have still stayed in because it looks like it will still go back down. But you know, things get a little sketchier. Here's the 5-minute candle right here. It's not a very good looking candle. It already touched this area. But yeah, guys, I'm just talking out loud. If you guys have any questions, let me know. I am going to put another poll up very soon. I feel like most people actually want to see my trading platform, and I'm not going to do that with my trade ideas. If any of you guys ever want to show me how you trade and want me to assess it, I'm more than willing to. But of course, that requires you to be able to screen share or record your screen, in which case you really want to close that window down just enough to not show your account. And just the idea of showing your account on the stream is not a good idea. So after you record it, then then you can. But right now I'm already recording this screen twice. I'm recording it with the stream, and I'm recording it with what is it, Camtasia. But if you guys really want to, instead of me recording this twice, I can record. I'm thinking about opening up another TradeNet account, so I'll create a poll on that. And if I do open up the TradeNet account, that would mean that I would show that screen, because it's less of a risk. So let's see. So yeah, now it's getting choppier, right? But if you entered here and it popped up like that, yeah, the chances are it will still go down because of the rubber band effect, right? So right now it's still not touching this 9 EMA. The rubber band effect is when it shoots up irrationally. This is me holding a invisible rubber band, okay? It goes. I'm trying to look for one. Here you go. Alright, so when the stock moves too fast, and this is a short, okay? If the stock moves too fast, it's going to shoot up, and there's going to be a lot of resistance. The distance from the 9 EMA and the chart itself. So eventually it's going to want to relax itself and get closer and closer. So either the stock goes down and the rubber band relieves itself, or it's going to keep going sideways, and then it's going to consolidate, and the 9 EMA is going to slowly get closer and closer to the stock. Right now there's room between the 9 EMA, which is 94 and 95, and the stock itself. So there's a greater chance of it snapping back. So let's look at the VWAP. And it's also outside the VWAP channel. So these are really good, gives you a rough idea on why you should be in it. Now, you always have to ask yourself, why shouldn't you be in it? And this is the daily chart that gives you a good reason why not to, because it's recovering from a big red day, previous day. So it has good reason to want to come back. And that's what it's doing. Yeah, that's what it's doing. So that's when you probably have to sell some of your shares and then find the next top to try to make your money back. Some or all, and just find the other top, and hopefully you get it right the next time around. But that's trading, guys.
SPR.
And there's Lightspeed. There's a Trade Ideas telling us that it wants to approach 66. But for me, after it does that, I'm less likely to want to enter a trade like this because of its reset and creating a doji on the 5 minute. Doji means that it open and close of this 5 minute candle are relatively the same. So let's see. I'm trying to find a good place for it to stop. It looks like it's all the way up here. Gosh. That's a 6630. So we can watch this for a breakout over 66. If it actually gets to 6630 and without any resistance, then it looks really good. So I'm going to get on the Discord app now, and I'm going to tell them that I'm watching
SPR.
That I'm watching SPR. And I probably should tell them that I'm on live stream right now. Let me just tell them right here. Paste like that. I think that works. Okay. Alright. Now it looks like it just touched 66, right? You guys see that? How it just touched? It looks 6602, and it's still going, right? So let's see. It's actually looking okay. Here, the gray area right here in this chart is the pre-market, and the pre-market actually touched 6623, which happens to be
SPR.
very close to 6630, 6626. These two little candles. This is where where it looks like it may be targeting this area right here. Should I draw a line? Why not? This is not my entry. This is just a possible area for it to retrace. It's a resistance line. It may not get there. But if it does, it looks more appetizing. So the highs right now is 6602. And looking at the volume is not that great. You guys can see that. It's kind of trailing down. So this could be a fade, even though it's moving up like that. So, I don't know. It's giving you a false idea right now. It's not really giving you a very good reason to enter just yet. But looking at the 5 minute, and then I'll just keep my quick study of the 9 EMA moving average right there, just to give you an idea of how much that rubber band is being pulled. And there it goes again, damn it. It just keeps popping down. So from here all the way up to here, you could tell that you could have entered on a 1 minute trigger, kind of. This would have been bad, but you wouldn't have entered here because it just went down. So you're waiting for it to pop up, and then you could enter on a 1 minute to catch a little bit on the down. So a good entry would be just shy of 65.92. But, you know, not being it is not exactly a bad thing either, especially if it goes up to my red line. So I'm going to watch it, and hopefully this is just one of those minor resets for the major reset. Let's see. Easier name. LOL says, you seem to be the only honest trading person on YouTube. Thanks, man. And trying myself getting this to work, living on trading being my goal. Hard as hell. Yeah, it is hard. But just bear in mind that, you know, I don't advocate anybody to do this as your primary source of income, especially in the beginning. If you're personally, just from my own point of view, enjoying it a lot. I know Jeremy Newby on the Discord app, Newby Trading, enjoys trading. I'm pretty sure he does. That's one of his hobbies. This isn't my hobby. Teaching you guys is more of a hobby. Being able to break down something and scaffold it so my family and friends can understand, that's more rewarding. I'm in a comfortable place in my life. My goal is to have children, not to make more money. My wife can steadily. Her teacher's salary is enough for me. I'm easy. But, you know, if I can make money off trading, then I really feel comfortable in my own skin, under my own skin, because no matter what happens, if she gets sick or if I need to expand and shelter more dogs or whatever, I can just go back to trading and create another number for me to meet. And so far I've met my number, kinda. I'm not greedy, and so I feel very comfortable trading. So at this point in my life, so to speak, trading is almost like some people's paper trading, if that makes any sense. If you're paper trading correctly, you do feel stress because you want to do well. I'm the same way. But when you trade solely to make an income, ooh, that's a lot of pressure. I remember I had a platform ready to go, and I was sitting on that I'm not sitting. I've been trying to execute a trade for over 6 months. Just stressed out, really worried of doing it wrong. that was after I was married. Trading was really hard because I had a lot of people dependent on me. But when I traded in high school, it was easy, right? You didn't care about money. So just put that in perspective. It gets easier once you start putting everything into a different mindset. And I'm glad I can help. I'm sure there's other honest traders out there. Um, I've actually been looking on YouTube, trying to figure out content to talk about, but I can't. Um, I tried really hard. I mean, everybody has things to talk about, how to trade, the psychology of trading, and I think I covered it. I just don't know how to cover it anymore. I didn't really create a specific video for it, but I do talk about. I have talked about it, the psychology of trading, in one of my videos most recently. That isn't streaming, but what I'm getting at is that I think somebody asked me, OJ asked me, can you make a how you start your day, what you're looking for, pre-market and all that. And honestly, guys, I'm a night owl. I wake up when I wake up. I make my coffee. I sit down and I let trade ideas tell me what to trade, and then I try to narrow things down to find the perfect trade, and that's it. Trading to me is really easy. The hardest part is just having that mindset. So if you trade really small, it doesn't hurt at all. Um, it doesn't, especially when you're not looking for 100% anymore. 4 minute delay, Lindsay? That's insane. OJ, 80 tomorrow before you go live. Announce it on Discord, please. Thanks. Okay, I will. Are you day trading all long? No. SPR right now, I'm actually looking for a short. Because of the amount of movement it's going up, and I like how it's. This is a 5 minute chart, by the way. Up here, you can verify. And if you can't, if it's blurry, make sure you're on. You click that HD and go 1080.
SPR.
But I really want this to go to touch that red line that I created, just because it's a clean line. You can see it right here on the 15s, how it kind of. Here's a pre-market touch, but it looks like it can hit 66.30ish. So I'm looking for 66.25, 66.30 around there for an area to enter. And I'm kind of glad that I'm patient right now because it's still climbing like nothing. Like it's nothing really. Sling says, hey bro, I am from India. Awesome. Please tell me your strategy and how you manage to risk, please. Easier name. Up to the resistance and you wait for candle pattern and take target to previous swing low. Well, this is a day trade, but I think I know what you mean. Usually the blue line right here is the 9-minute EMA, but if I take it to the 5 minute, this is usually my first target, which is 65.41.
SPR.
So if I enter, I'm like I mentioned about the rubber band, the faster it goes up, the more resistance there is, and it's going to snap back. I wanted to snap back wherever the 9 EMA is. So that is relatively my first target. The second target may be VWAP. Well, I should rephrase that. My first target is my feelings. How I feel is going to go based on the level 2, and hopefully it doesn't fake me out. Then there is the technical 9 EMA and the VWAP. But right now I'm only looking at the blue line, the 9 EMA. And there it is. It touched that area, and I'm going to get on Discord app right now to short SPR very soon. 1 minute trigger underneath this area in at 66.12. Okay, now I'm shorting it. at 66.12. And I'll have a mental stop at the highs of 66.36. So I'm going to erase this red line now just to make things easier for you guys. I'm in at 66.12. And if you're wondering why it's so low, it's because of the spread here. When I entered at, I don't even remember, 66 something, you catch it at the bid whenever you're going short. So you always feel like you're losing. So your entry is very important here. Now if it wants to go higher, I'm just going to be out, because right now today I'm green. I already did 2 trades, and this is probably my last trade here, and it's sketchy right now. See the spread right there? It's pretty big. Right now it's 9-cent spread. Sling, back to your question. If you look under my my albums, my playlist in YouTube, you'll find the strategies. I have a strategy video that I think will really help you, and I'll put the link up in a little bit. I'm just looking at this right now. So from here, if you want to be a little bit more comfortable because of the spread and how the 1 minute goes up and down, you could just go to the 5-minute chart, and you can kind of get an idea of a smoother action. And then right now the price target is 65.55, kinda. But if I see it go too strong, I'm going to be out, because I don't want it to go too far against me, the way it pops up and down the way it does. Now just to double check, always look back at the daily, and this is why I should be scared, because it's recovering. This low right here is 66.21, so it's a good spot where it touched, and it's going down. 15-minute. You can see how it created that line that I had previously. It kind of likes that area, and it was a resistance area. It passed it, and now it's coming back. So obviously I'm happy. Now, the slower it goes, the closer the blue line gets. So 65.54 is where my target could be. But of course, in the 1 minute chart, I have to worry about all these areas of resistance, like right here. 65.79. So going back to the 5 minute, 65.51 is the second target. 65.59 is my second target. Don't forget to breathe. Don't forget to blink your eyes. And I don't like how it, even though this is a beautiful move, this also suggests when it shoots down like that, it suggests a little green, which will, scare me sometimes. Scare anybody, depending on how many shares you have in this one. Yeah, there's the little green print. And it's being supported right here. So this is where you can either get out to get your scalp, or you can keep going and hope that it goes the way it's supposed to go. So it really depends on your threshold. Mine isn't that great, but it's better than average, because I'm up pretty good. I'll show you a breakdown of the other 2 trades that I did earlier today that I didn't have a chance to put into the stream. Yeah, John, if you blink, you miss it. And that, yeah, man. That's a horrible feeling. Right now the 65.60 is the target. Looking back at the 1 minute, I like how it reset itself because it went down so quickly. It needed to go up. Now let's just go down a little bit further, and that is a good place right here, the 65.50. Let's see if I can catch it. But you see how it just bounced back and forth because of that 10-cent spread, 9-cent spread? So just to make my life easier, I'm going to go on my Discord and say cover SPR, and then I'll put in the number and enter it as soon as I can, just so I can execute it as close as I can to when I click that button. $9 AMA is 65.58 now, and it's getting at a good place right here. See that? How I can draw that line between this one and this one? So let's go back to the 1 minute chart, and this is a very good strong support area. You guys see that? How it touched this candle, and this candle. So to break through would be awesome. So let's get that to break on through to the other side. 65.55 would be a great place to touch. And I'm gonna keep my cursor on the trading platform now. If I just visually see it touch, then I'm out. So if I get out right now, I would be covering it at 65.69 and not 65.60 if you're paper trading. So if you're paper trading, you get out now, you should be writing down 65.69, not 65.65 or 65.62. Realistically, it will be 65.69. Valencia asks, how do you read that? Well, this is the bid and this is the ask, right? All you need to know is if you're shorting, basically you're wanting it to go down, you take the worst number. So if I'm covering it right now, I'll be covering at 65.72, the number at the top, not these numbers at the bottom. Then there are these numbers on the side, right? All you really need to know about these is take the top few numbers, not the ones that are too far away, like down here, the 64.21 that has 78. This one is basically saying someone is willing to buy this many shares times 100, I think, and at this price point. But that's all the way down there, 64.21, right? So that's not ideal. The top few numbers right here are the ones that you're going to have to worry about, and you're going to add up to see what everybody are talking about. And the way I see it is the level 2 is kind of like people talking about a party, if you want to go to a party. So you're trying to figure out, are you going to go or not? And right now it's 1-to-1, right? It kind of looks like some people want to go, some people don't want to go. So it's going to pretty much go sideways. What really tells you is the time in sales, what actually happens. So the people going through that door and leaving that door is on the time in sales of that party. So then you can see the size, how many people are buying and how many people are selling. If they're buying, it's going to go up. If they're selling, it's going to go down. So basically what I'm saying is, if I see huge numbers on the ask, that means it's going to go down, technically. Okay, it's getting at a good place right now, guys. It's just going sideways. Looking at the 1 minute here, it needs to go down, and it looks like it's trying. So I'm gonna wait a little bit longer, and I'm hoping for a pop down, and I'm going to take that whenever I see the ask at a good number, because now it's scaring me. 65.68. I'm not scared, I'm startled. 65.68. What was the 9 EMA? I apologize for bouncing around, but I'm just going as fast as my brain goes. 65.59. Um, I don't like that curl. So watching level 2 here. In a lot of ways, guys, whenever I see this number, the 78 down here, it actually makes me assume that it wants to go down to that number. It won't ever go down to that number, but it suggests a lot of people are willing for it to go down. I'm not sure how theoretically correct that is, but from what I've seen. Dr. Shinawa says, Mr. Shinawa says, but level 2 bidding support level is fake because it blinks, they cancel all the bid. In blink, they cancel all the bid. In blink? The level 2 does help sometimes, especially if you see really large numbers and you don't see it getting broken down. That's when you know it's going to really go. But when you see these little numbers, not much. Not much information. Okay, now it's getting good. I like that little tick down. And now it touched 5 minute. You guys see that? How it just touched there? So I'm out. 65.65. I'm 65.65, yeah. Typing it in the Discord app. And it probably will go down some more. And see, that's hindsight is 2020. That's things all traders say. But green is green. That's right. So that's pretty much how you can safely trade something like this. And this is that's what I mean by being overextended. And you know it's overextended when it's getting further and further away from the moving average. In this case, is the 9 minute exponential moving average. That's what I use for my first stop. Now the second stop would obviously be what I just said, the VWAP right here, and you can tell it's within the band now, and it can go all the way down to 64.51 if you really wanted it to. But again, the reason I'm afraid of doing that is because it had a really red day and it's coming back up. So I really don't know what it wants to do. I'm just trying to get what I can. Oh, in a blink of your eyes. Yeah. So, like Mr. Shinawa, so basically, what Mr. Shinawa is saying is what I'm suggesting. You got a bunch of fickle party goers and party poopers here, and you don't. They're gonna talk. You know, like girls talk. They're gonna say, if more people want to go, then it's gonna move. But if more people don't want to go, then nobody goes. So it just it really clashes. So what actually really happens is in the time and sales right here. So when you see 1500, this will suggest it going down, these red ones, and the greens will suggest it going up. And the more red, numerically, cumulatively, the more it's going to go down. So that's just how that works. So I'm assuming it's going down and hurting my feelings now. Yeah, of course it is. 65.48 if you now it's 65.48 if you cover from here. Like I said, I'll always say this: the market, regardless if you're green, the market's gonna make you feel like a loser. But that's just trading, guys. Don't get greedy. Just stick with what you know. I do know that a lot of traders like Jeremy Newby on the Discord app, on his Discord app, he has a higher threshold. You know, he breathes through pain. I don't. And it also is really dependent on how many shares you have. I mean, if you had 100 shares, it's not going to hurt very much. But if you have 1,000 shares, yeah, you're going to be holding your breath quite a bit, right? For something like that. I don't know why I didn't hear it, but Trade Ideas suggested APH here, and it's $100 stock. That's pretty expensive, and it's going down to this area. Looking at the daily chart, trying to find a support resistance line. Right here is low 105.46, and it actually went down to 105.47. That is a good area. That's an area where a lot of traders would question how low it is, in which case it may move up before it redecides if it wants to go back down. 5 minute, it's like kind of like a curl, and it doesn't look like it has a lot of volume. So I'm probably going to leave that alone, but you know, before you know it's going to pop back up. This thing has a lot of range. So yeah guys, how long have I been on this? Lindsay asks, is it possible for you to show us how much shares you do when you trade? That's something that I'm hesitant to do because I have family watching, and if I show you how many shares, if I ever do show you how many shares, it will be on the student platform on TradeNet. So that will be my next poll. I'm going to ask you guys if you want me to open up a TradeNet account, in which case I will show you my account most likely, but not my Lightspeed account, because that's just one extra thing for me to worry about. I'm accidentally streaming my account, and I go a little bit bigger than the average person when it comes to that. And then in the past I've had people follow me, even though I tell them not to, and it's their responsibility and it's their lives. They think because I keep winning and showing and having my 90% success rate, that they come in at that 10% and then they bomb, and they don't have the collateral I do, and they blow up their account off one trade, and I don't want to be responsible for that. So I'm not going to show you the amount of shares that I do. That just makes me feel more comfortable. Jeremy Newby, other method, his equally and less and equally stressful is Jeremy Newby probably has more shares than me, and yet he chooses not to speak or show you his screen. I could do that. It's a trade-off. You don't want them to have a heart attack, Lindsay asks. Yeah, I don't. And it really hurts me too, because that's how I want to help. So, there's a trade-off. I can only handle so much stress. And of course, if I'm not doing this live stream, I'm pretty sure I can show even more. I mean, I can take more risks and tolerate more stress. But because I know I'm talking through all this, and I've already missed a few trades, which actually one of them didn't even work out correctly. So I'm grateful for doing the live stream. But you know what I'm getting at. We got to pick our battles. Maybe someday I'll be so confident and comfortable with live streaming that I can, but not at this moment. And if I do, I'm contemplating opening up a TradeNet account, in which case I'm only throwing in, not only, my wife would not appreciate me throwing in $3,000 just to help other people. So, Mr. Chanel has asked, what is your thoughts, account cash for day trading full-time, 50K, 100K, not margin? Oh, so I guess you're asking, what are my thoughts for a day trading platform that has 50K in there without margin? So basically, I think what he's asking is, pattern day traders, PDT rules require you to have a minimum of $25,000 in a platform funded in the USA. So what are my thoughts about 50K? Well, yeah, ideally a 50K, because then you'll have as long as you're a pattern day trader, you have 4 times buying power. So having a minimum of $25,000 means that you have a buying power of 100K. That is a minimum. If you ever go underneath $25,000, then your account gets frozen until you fund it up again, fund it back up over 25,000. So ideally, you should have over 30,000, 35,000. And Mr. Chanel was asking, what about 50? Yeah, 50 is more ideal, isn't it? Because that means instead of the minimum of $100,000 buying power, you have a $200,000 buying power. That is awesome. Now, 100K, I don't know about that. I'd rather put that in something else that that can accrue interest, like in a bank. But yeah, so on the flip side, for those of you who are just starting, talking about 50K in the account is crazy, right? You rather have that money to be able to spend and pull out of the account. So that's why I'm always talking about TradeNet, because with TradeNet, using a discount code, I don't know if mine works anymore because I may still be affiliated, but I don't know. But there's always these 15% offs, so that will make it like $3,000. For $3,000, you can get the student account and get $80,000 buying power, which is a little bit underneath 20K underneath $100,000 buying power, but it's a hell of a lot better than SureTraders. The only caveat to that is that $3,000 that you put in, you never get back. So they take that as that's why it's called a student package, and all of their packages are the same way. They use that, you're paying for your education, and I think that's a good price. If you think about the amount of money you spend on college, $3,000 isn't that much, and from there you get to use their platform, and the way they make money is, other than that $3,000, they take 20% off of your profits, which sound like a lot, but that's the trade-off of learning. And then once you get really good, open up your account in the US and go get that $25,000 to fund. So yeah, guys, I think I'm talking too much. The stream is already an hour long, so I need to get going. But yeah, hopefully this was helpful, and I was able to dissect the trade better than average, and hopefully I'm using my Yeti instead of this audio off this camera, and hopefully I'm in 1080. Hopefully everything's working correctly. That's all I'm trying to get at. But otherwise, feel free to comment and let me know what you think. Be sure to hit the like button and subscribe. And click that note, but most importantly, click the notification, because a lot of y'all are asking when am I going to be on. I really don't know, because I'm trying to be on every day, but I don't want the live stream running over an hour just because I'm waiting for something, and my mouth is getting dry talking so much. So yeah, notification bell, click that thing, and so you'll know when I'm getting on. And yeah, it really helps out actually, because then my wife knows that I'm actually making some money off YouTube for doing this. All right, guys, I'll check you next time. Bye.